A live look at downtown St. Louis and the roads in Missouri, and in just a few days, you'll be wanting to steer clear of both and stay inside. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Mike Bush.
And I'm Kelly Jackson. We are still some 48 hours away from a wintry mix that will have major impacts on the bi-state. Tonight, we are helping you get prepared with team coverage. Laura Barcheski is looking into winter storm preps.
But first, let's get over to Weather Impact Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell, who's tracking everything from snow to freezing rain. Scott.
I think there's going to be a bit of all of it around the bi-state area as we head through this weekend, specifically on Sunday. And there's a trend tonight to have a little more sleet into the St. Louis area than snow. Will that trend continue? The storm system's a long ways away. Midnight or 12 a.m. Sunday morning through noon on Monday, we have our weather impact alert. There will be a wintry mix. Farther north of St. Louis, it's mostly snow. We get into the metro area, we start with that sleet snow mix, maybe some freezing rain. The farther south you go, the more sleet and freezing rain there is and the less snow there will be. Now, you'll need extra time for travel because there will be travel troubles as we head through this weekend. The winter storm watch, expansive along the I-70 corridor from Kansas, across Missouri, into Illinois, into Indiana, and that includes along the Ohio River and along the Missouri River. And our part of the world, all of us are under a winter storm watch starting Saturday night going into Sunday and Monday. So here's the breakdown. We still think the greatest threat for ice in freezing rain south of St. Louis. Still think we're in that transition zone around the metro area where there'll be sleet and snow, with more snow at times to the north of St. Louis and mostly snow to the north of St. Louis. This storm still out in the Pacific right now. Once it gets on shore tomorrow, we'll have a better understanding of exactly where we would draw some of those lines to delineate between the heavier snow, which will occur for some spots north of St. Louis, more than a foot, we just can't say exactly where, and where we're going to see more sleet impacts. We'll do that for you in about 15 minutes, Mike.
And road crews across the bi-state are already preparing for the mixed bag of winter weather conditions this weekend. 5 on your side's Laura Barcheski is just off I-64 with a look at the preparations underway. Laura.
Mike, everyone from the Department of Transportation to the National Weather Service is saying if this storm goes as they expect it to, it's going to be one of the bigger storms that we've seen in the last couple of years, and they want you to be ready. The National Weather Service says the last few winters haven't brought a lot of snow to the bi-state, but the storm system moving in this weekend could have a widespread impact that reaches the East Coast.
Some of the amounts that we're seeing that are in some of the model data could top the Groundhog Day 2022. That was February 2nd and 3rd of 2022. St. Louis received almost 7 inches of snow that time. Columbia was almost 10 inches.
Meteorologist Jared Maples says with the freezing rain, sleet, and snow combination, they're particularly concerned about ice on power lines and the roads.
There's kind of this false perception that if I have four-wheel drive, I can drive on ice. Completely false. There is no traction on the freezing rain.
The Illinois Department of Transportation says they're still dealing with staffing challenges and are trying their best to put their resources in the right place.
If the forecast holds, I don't think the folks from the south will be able to help us much because they'll be dealing with freezing rain. So now if the setup is north of us gets heavier snow, we're preparing as if we're going to be on an island and have to handle this ourselves.
Maples says the last significant ice storm was in 2009, where some areas received an inch of ice.
But when you get that type of weight, that water weight that is sticking to the tree branches, and you start to add wind, especially in those cases, you're talking about tree limbs down, power lines down. That could be power outages that could last days in some cases.
They say single-digit temperatures right after this storm will make whatever precipitation we do get stick around for a while and even refreeze, which can cause issues for road crews and drivers.
The challenge will be real and the mobility will be compromised at points during that event.
Now, the National Weather Service says right now, if you need to get out and go do some errands, go grab some groceries or whatever, that Saturday is looking like during the day might be your last day to do that. But stick with our team. We're going to take you through this storm all the way. Reporting live in St. Louis, Laura Barcheski, 5 on your side.
Yeah, our team of weather impact meteorologists will be here around the clock to help you navigate this winter storm. They'll be They'll keep updating the forecast on air on KSDK.com and on the 5 Plus streaming app. And you can also text the word weather to 314-425-5355. And we're going to send that weather impact forecast straight to your phone.